So this is my hot tub. I drained her about 4 days ago. Stuff starting to fall into it. It's, I don't know, a good 10 years old. And we kind of limped through last season. And the season is the winter time when it's snowy and cold. I don't really come out here in the summer. And what happened is the controller, which is this unit right here, the circuit board, there's something wrong with it. I don't know what it is. Some diode, electrode, generator, alternator, I don't know. But it's dead, so I'm going to replace it. And I looked into buying this exact unit. It's about $450. Best price I could find, which was on eBay. And not feeling too good about that, so I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to start by removing this, and I'm going to replace it with a couple other things I found on eBay. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut the power to the hot tub. Now this is actually the 15 amp breaker to the hot tub. This is the GFI, ground fault interrupter. These two circuits go to my still. And this is a 35 amp sub panel. So we're going to let me pull the service disconnect here. We're out, so it's dead. Doesn't matter if everything's on or off now. Nothing's going to run. The thing I'm going to tell you though is that this still, I decided that we're hooked up electrically, and you can see that I made that connection. I added this to this sub panel. I'm going to hook it up plumbing wise as well. We're electrically attached now, but I'm also going to attach the plumbing. That is, I'm going to run the still cooling tower through the hot tub. We'll take a look at that later. But right now, we're going to fix the electrical system to the hot tub. So the first function of this control unit that I'm going to take care of or bypass is the daily maintenance function. And the way that works is you can program this to run a few hours a day if you're not using the hot tub, so that the water gets circulated, the chemicals are mixed up, it goes through the filter, and it does that every day whether you use it or not. It also at that time maintains the heat, and this unit right here is the heating element. And the logic behind that is that if you keep the heat up and maintained, you do not have to heat it up every time you use it, and you're going to have a much quicker response time too when you open it up and set it to some temperature, which is always 102 degrees. There's no reason to change that. That's a comfortable temperature. So you set it at that temperature. You want to maintain that so you're not constantly heating and cooling the tub. So the tub maintains that 102 degree temperature. So typically a few hours a day maintains that because the tub is insulated and covered. So that function, that maintenance function, is going to be replaced really simply. I'm going to come over to my service. Now I've opened it up from when I showed it to you before. And right here I've bypassed the lead in, and I've wired in a simple timer. This timer will run, I don't know, I'll probably set it for 3 or 4 hours a day. That will be more than enough time to keep the temperature up. And this timer only cost me, I think it was $12 at the hardware store. And looped it in, and then the power goes out to the tub. I'm going to replace the rest of the controller unit over there with a PID and a 3-way switch. The PID will turn the heating element on and off so that we're not heating when we're running stuff, but we're up to temperature. We want to maintain a consistent 102 degrees. I have removed this controlling unit from the inside of the hot tub. It used to sit right there. We'll clean all of this out. This is a mess. This is 10 years of, I don't know how gross stuff gets inside of things. But this is the heating element. It's the alternating current, 120 volts. That's the ground. That is the port for the temperature sensor. I managed to inadvertently break that off getting it out. It didn't matter, it had to come out anyway. The old temperature sensor was adjustable, I guess. You could calibrate it. Never did that. We have the spa light, which is low voltage. I'll have to come up with some kind of transformer for that. We have the motor, which is a 2-speed motor. It runs in low speed. The white, of course, is neutral. The green, of course, is the ground. Red is low speed. Black is high speed. So it runs in the low speed when it's in the service mode. And when you're hot tubbing, it runs in the high speed. So we'll have to take care of those functions. And we will have replaced this several $100 unit. Doesn't really do much, actually. I'm going to replace it all with old analog stuff, switches and timers. You've already seen how I'm going to do the maintenance mode. We probably took care of that much of this unit. And now we're going to take care of this much. We're going to give a low voltage, which is the transformer. It's right here. And all of this craziness, I don't know. They basically feed this display up here. But the display will be non-functioning when we're done. It will be analog. So we're looking at the heating element here. This is the 120 volts in. This is the ground. And this is the temperature sensor port. When I was removing it, I broke the temperature sensor off into this little tapped hole. So I have to get that out. In order to do that, I'm going to use this little Easy Out kit, which my father gave me. And my father's been dead for 10 years. He probably bought this in the 1950s. And why I got it, I don't know, because he never gave me much. But I love you, Dad, and thank you. So we're just going to screw this in. I can feel it coming out. A little resistance. Pop, I know you're in heaven, so take a look at that and be happy. Thank you, Dad. now I'm going to do a dry run of all the functions of the hot tub. I've got the service back together. The service disconnect is in. Let's turn the breaker on. You can hear the motor running. Now, the daily maintenance function will be run by this timer. Oops, let's get my hand out of there. Clock will run, and it'll get to some place where it, oh, got it on here, let's turn it off. Okay, it's not running, it's just sitting there idle, waiting to be called up. The timer will run, and it'll turn on, and that'll heat and circulate the water. And it will go off. Now let's say I came out here and I wanted a hot tub and it wasn't on. I would simply push this button and it's going to go on. So we're in the hot tub. So that's really the main on and off of the unit. So let's come over here and look at the control. This is the temperature. This is 27 degrees Celsius. I have it set for 40. 27 degrees, about 80. It's about what it is out here. So you can see by the light on the relay, it's calling for power. So I should have heat down at the heating element, or power down at the heating element, and got 116 volts, right at 120, so it's working. That's in low speed now. Let's turn it to high speed. When I turn it on high speed, you see the light came on, goes off when it's in low speed. And I'm gonna go ahead and flip it off because I'm smelling the heating unit heating up and there's no water in it. Off it goes. So, looks like everything's functioning correctly. So the next thing to do is to seal up this, clean out the tub, and fill it with water. The hot tub is complete. I've replaced the old control unit with the PID. I've got a low, high switch. In the middle it's completely off. It's high, or low, excuse me. The PID controls the temperature. I just turned it on. It's at 38. I want it at 40 degrees Celsius. Let's open it up, take a look inside. I'll just turn it on high. And the light, the hot tub, everything's wonderful. And you can't beat it. I spent less than $30 to replace that several $100 unit. Everything functions just like it should.